Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Taking a look at local news now, around 50 members of the community attended this week's City Council meeting in hopes to push their agenda for a rumored smart city plan. Reese Andrews reports.
Attendees were concerned that Lloydminster would be adopting a 15-minute plan and felt it would infringe on their freedom rights.
Question and answer to see where council was on the smart city stuff and the surveillance of it. And yeah, because it's, to me, the whole thing is about surveillance and limiting your access to where you can go and where you can't go in a short period of time or a long period of time. And I think any kind of surveillance over the population is just totally not kosher in my mind.
As for this website, though, I think a lot of people got concerned on it, and there was hundreds of people on this. They opened up the site. It finally ended up crashing the site. There was so much interest in it. So, but now I'm finding out that this might have been something old. I talked with Aaron Buckingham yesterday, and he wasn't quite aware of it. He wasn't sure about it. And it was just confirmed to me today that they are looking into that because they really don't know. They don't know nothing about it.
The city has confirmed that they have no intentions to pursue this smart city plan, and it was a simple case of misinformation.
I talked to a few people before council as to why are there so many people here today? They were misinformed about what was being discussed today. We were doing land use bylaw amendments and changes to allow business to grow. And I think that with today's talk in the world, there has been some correlation between those things. So I think it was simply a timing thing. But of course, today's council meeting had nothing to do with the proposed 15-minute cities discussion or anything that's going on out there.
After some discussion with members of City Council, protesters are feeling better about the topic.
I'm not calling nobody a liar. I'm not saying nothing like that. But to actually hear it from the City Council, like I said, it was a start, and it's where we can sit down and say, okay, well, this is it. You know, there's a lot of technology out there, so if there's any baloney going around, I'm pretty sure it's going to be brought up already.
Reese Andrews, Primetime, Local News.
Lloydminster RCMP are holding an opportunity for citizens to speak straight to the police. Here's Zach Kenny with more.
So I'm here with Corporal Kurzinger on the RCMP meeting that will happen at Town Hall March 1st. So Corporal, our first question here, what is this whole meeting going to be about?
This is a fantastic opportunity for Lloydminster citizens to come out and express their desires and concerns for what they want to see the police in their community to do. It's a great opportunity to say, hey, I think this is a priority, whether it be traffic or organized crime or drugs and gangs, just anything that's on their mind. Or it could even be hey, you know what? I live in this neighborhood and I'm experiencing this type of an issue. So it's their opportunity to have their voice be heard so that we can take that information, compile it into what we would like to call our annual performance plan. So just ways and means for us to measure what it is that we're going to do. And anytime you're making a plan for the year, it's always a good idea to make sure you know what the people you're serving want to know and want to, I guess, have input in. So this is their opportunity to have input in how we police in this upcoming fiscal year.
Awesome, that's amazing. And for certain officers that'll be at the location, do you know if there's going to be a certain rank or will they be just all a single file?
So the great news is we're going to be having our acting inspector, Brian Nickel. He is a staff sergeant. He is the one that is currently running our detachment, and he is going to be there. He'll be leading that meeting. Typically, we have other ranks, whether we have another staff sergeants or sergeants, corporals or constables, so kind of a whole wide range. We try to have people from different sections if we're able to. Obviously, with policing, our job is a little bit dynamic, so sometimes we can't always make the meetings that we're looking for. But the good news is the boss, the detachment commander, is going to be there. He's the one that's going to be able to for sure answer those questions. And if he's not able to, make sure that he gets the right information to respond to those and be able to action all of the requests that are being brought before him and the RCMP of Lloydminster.
And for residents coming in and to asking questions and such, is there anything that you encourage to ask? Something that if somebody wants out, it should be asked at this meeting?
this is the perfect opportunity for you to voice that burning question that you have, or concern that is something that, whether it's a reoccurring issue that you have, or even just maybe something that is going on in society in relation to policing that you're like, you know what, I really wonder, like, I see this happening somewhere else. Is that happening in my community? What is my police force here in Lloydminster doing about, organized crime? For us, we don't go into the rural areas inside of Lloydminster. We're just city itself. But I know that rural policing is always a super hot topic for people, whether they have property at a lake or those types of things that they want to get answers to, or, how they can even prepare to better insulate themselves from crime. And this is, again, one of those opportunities for them to come and voice that and make sure that they get the answers they need and walk away feeling as though they have some resolution or at least a guideline of where they should be going.
Excellent. That's amazing. And for future plans the RCMP may have from the information given by residents, is there anything that they plan to do in the future?
The RCMP, as we know, is a massive organization. There's always priorities being developed for us. So there are national priorities. In the past, we've seen national priorities such as youth, First Nations policing, traffic enforcement. We've seen divisional as well as provincial issues regarding drugs or organized crime. For us inside of Lloydminster, typically we've seen traffic as an extremely important hot topic for the residents here in town. And we've also seen crime reduction. People want to see ways that we can reduce the overall amount of crime, whether that's up in the North Industrial area in relation to business break-and enters, or whether it is noise issues down at the Service Sports Center. So just a wide range of different topics and ways that we take those, and then we take the national ones, we take the provincial ones, and then the ones that are brought up locally, and put them all together and see where they can fit to create our year's action plan.
And I think that should be everything I have to ask, Corporal. Is there anything else that I missed that you'd like to go over possibly?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that this meeting is going to be happening on March the 1st at the OTS room between 7 and 9 p.m., which is located upstairs at the Service Sports Center at 5202 12th Street. So if you're not busy tomorrow during that time, we just encourage you to please come on out, ask your questions, and bring your ideas of how we can work collaboratively to ensure the safety and improvement inside of Lloydminster.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Corporal Zinger.
And now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark, who has a look at weather.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the Border City on our Tuesday of this week. We aren't seeing too much of a warm day today, I would say. Compared to yesterday, we were looking slightly warmer yesterday with that digit that we were sitting at with -9. But, with that wind chill, we have seen that calm down for today, which is a nice break because we were seeing some strong winds throughout the day yesterday. And now for today, we are just feeling past that -20 point with that wind chill. So we have cooled down once again for today, and we haven't been seeing too much sun peeking behind those clouds, but we have been seeing a little bit of sun throughout the day. If you stepped outside whatsoever, it's not as cloudy as we expected it to be. So hopefully everybody's still enjoying their day and making sure to layer up when need be and trying to stay warm out there. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots are following suit with us here in the Border City. Looking at those double-digit temperatures with -13 and -14 degrees. We are looking at a lot of -12s over on our Alberta side as we look in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, Vegreville, and down in Wainwright and Provost. And we look over in Edmonton, and they're just at -11. Of course, Edmonton is seeing a slightly warmer condition, and up in Lac La Biche is actually beating out Edmonton for right now at -10. Now, as you go over to our Saskatchewan side, they are also seeing those double-digit temperatures as well, matching with us definitely on our Alberta side with those conditions, because they are just seeing around -12 to -13 degrees in most spots. Up in Isle Cross, they're just at -15, so slightly cooler. And we go a bit lower to Macklin, they're just at that -14. So definitely seeing those mid-teens for the pattern for today. Switching over to North Battleford for their evening low temperature, they will be going out to low of minus 21. So seeing past that minus 20 point for their evening low temperature, definitely cooling down. With that wind chill, probably feeling closer to that minus 25. So as we expected, we are seeing those evening lows kind of cool down as we go through this month. And then for tomorrow, North Battleford will be looking at a daytime high of minus 12. So expecting another double-digit daytime temperature, but they will be seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds. So hopefully that periods of sun will kind of help warm things up a little bit for North Battleford. Cold Lake will be going down to low of minus 17 for their evening low, so not too bad of a temperature for their evening low tonight, although they will be getting some occasional snow and flurries later on through the evening. So got to kind of take the good with the bad. You know, we will be seeing for Cold Lake a slightly warmer temperature, although condition-wise it will be quite cool. And then for tomorrow, they'll be looking at a daytime high of minus 9, so seeing that single digit, although with the bad, they will be expecting around 3 centimeters of some snowfall. So in Cold Lake, make sure you got your shovels ready because it will be coming back at you. For us here in the Border City, we will be going down to low of minus 18, so cooling down slightly for tonight. We aren't quite hitting that minus 20 point yet, but with that wind chill, we will definitely be. We will probably be feeling around minus 25 for our evening low. So if you want to plug in those vehicles, make sure you do so, but I think you'd be probably safe if you may have forgot or didn't feel like it. And then for our daytime high for tomorrow, for our Wednesday, we'll be looking at a minus 10 for our daytime high and a mixture of some sun and clouds. So hopefully we will be seeing a little bit more sun than what we saw today, and that'll help warm things up. And we will be seeing slightly a little bit more wind for tomorrow as well. So please make sure, as I was saying before, to layer up and try to stay warm out there. And now ending off with a look at one of your weather photo submissions. Thank you to everyone that have submitted to our Facebook page. You can continue to do so. And we got one for today in Elk Point. This one is from Sunny. Thank you for this gorgeous shot. I think a lot of people got some nice shots of some northern lights, so absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much. That's all I have for now. With more coming up after the break.
Lakeland Rustlers women's volleyball team is the ACAC champions and will be heading off to nationals. Here's Thomas Wildman with more.
Today we have Kaylee Lewick, a member of the women's volleyball team for the Lakeland Rustlers, and she's here today to tell us a little bit about their championship win that happened this past weekend. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Kaylee.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so Kaylee, tell us a little bit about the championships at Red Deer and kind of how it's a little different from regular season play.
I mean, it was a little bit different with our regular season this year as we played everyone. So there was our weekends when we played South teams that we played 2 different teams in one weekend. So I feel like our team got a little bit of a taste of that before we went in. But yeah, 3 games, 3 days, 3 different opponents. We prepare heavily for every game. Doesn't matter what team it is, the record or anything. So preparing and knowing that we're going to see 3 different lineups is definitely different, but something our team knew going in and was excited for.
And then was there any extra pressure on you guys as you came into the tournament as the #1 ranked team? And you guys, of course, have big ambitions to want to win and go on to the national championships once again this year. So was there any of that extra pressure from opponents and just for on you guys in general?
I mean, we had played everyone, so it was nice knowing going in. We already had a game plan. We already had seen who's their potential starting lineup. So that was new to us this year as well, just because we got to play everyone in the North and the South. So, but yeah, I feel like the season we had and the record we had, we definitely have that target on our back. But we're an old veteran team, and that's comes with. I mean, if you stick it out long enough, you know how to roll with the punches. So I think it was really a group effort, and we played well.
And then the big thing, what was the feeling you had, and especially winning the championship with all of your teammates and being able to finally, you know, get that gold medal and get the feeling of that big victory?
It's the best feeling. Like I said, we have a very veteran team, so we've had people putting in 3, 4, 5 years of work, and to capture this gold medal really just is the cherry on top, and it really shows that every day the work we put in the gym, in the classroom, in the weight room, it pays off.
And then Kaylee, what are you guys working on to prepare for the national championships that will be coming up later this March at Vancouver Island?
I said earlier, we prepare for our team, so we'll definitely be touching up on video, getting to know our opponents before we get there. So we'll prepare the same way. We go through our routines, we prepare the same way every week, and yeah, it's paid off for us this past weekend. So we'll keep rolling with what we do, and that's the wrestler way. So.
Thank you so much, Kaylee, for talking to me today, and we wish you guys the best in the national championships and hope you guys can bring home a gold to the border city here in Lloydminster.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
And now let's check in with Shelby Clark, who has another look at weather.
Thank you so much once again there, Mr. Jason Mackey. Now as I take another look at your extended weather forecast, we'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. We have cooled down quite a bit for today compared to the last couple of days. Most spots are seeing those double digits, of course, on our Alberta side, with most just sitting at -11, -12 up in Cold Lake, while as -10 for Rocky Mountain House and Red Deer, and over in Jasper, still looking quite warm compared to the rest with that single digit. Now as we go over to our Saskatchewan side in our central area, they are looking slightly cooler compared to our Alberta side. They are seeing those double digits, but just a few degrees cooler compared to the rest. -12 for both North Battleford and Prince Albert, while as -13 there in Saskatoon, and the rest are just seeing around -14 to -15 degrees. And now as we go over to our northern zone and look at our Saskatchewan side, they are looking quite cool as well. They were seeing, you know, of course, the past was -20s last week, so I would say they have warmed up quite a bit for this week, but they are starting to get a little bit closer, especially Stony Rapids and Molson Lake at -19 degrees. Looking at that -18 there for South End and up in Uranium City, and then the rest are seeing those mid-teens kind of matching more with us in our central area with around -14 to -15. And going back over to our Alberta side here, they are looking slightly cooler compared to our central zone for our Alberta side, as they are seeing a few degrees cooler from what we are seeing right now. -10 in Slave Lake, while it's -11 in Peace River. -13 and -14 seems to be the common pattern that we are seeing on our Alberta side, especially throughout our central and our northern zone. And as we look at Fort Chipewyan there, they are looking slightly cooler, just a few degrees off from that -20 mark with -17. Now as we go over to our southern zone, shockingly enough, they are looking quite warm compared to the rest, as most spots are seeing those single digits on our Alberta side. -7 there in Lethbridge, so Lethbridge definitely has cooled down slightly for today compared to what they were seeing yesterday. -4, -5 for Medicine Hat and over in Banff, while in Calgary they are just hitting those double digits with -10. And of course Coronation compared to the rest is seeing slightly cooler with -12, but just by a couple degrees. Now as we end off looking at our Saskatchewan side in our southern zone, they are looking slightly warmer compared to what they were looking at yesterday, as they were well seeing past those double digits. Now they are just hitting those double digits, especially for these three spots here, with just hitting -10. Looking at -8 there in Estevan, while as -13, 14 for Yorkton and Kindersley. So I think we are seeing kind of a common pattern. Probably the coolest conditions we are looking at are probably around -15 to -16 degrees. So can't complain too much, as we are just, you know, getting through our month of February here and heading into March. And now looking at some overnight temperatures that we will be expecting tonight in our surrounding areas. We are going to be expecting some slightly warmer conditions for tonight for those temperatures, especially that low of -16 expected in Bonnyville tonight. Although condition-wise, with those flurries, a lot of these spots are going to be seeing a high chance of some flurries later on, especially for Bonnyville, around 70% chance. We will be seeing seeing past that -20 mark with a low of -20 for Provost and Meadow Lake. A low of -21 expected for Isle Cross tonight, and Paradise Hill will be expecting a low of -18. So some spots are going to be seeing those flurries later on, you know, occasional snowing on and off, but for the most part it's going to be quite warm, I would say, compared to what we have been seeing last week. Looking at our hourly forecast for our Wednesday tomorrow here in the border city, we are starting off slightly cooler with that -18 right off in the morning. As we go through our daytime high into the mid-afternoon, we will be reaching that -10, which will be a nice break there. And then we will cool down slightly just by a few degrees as we go through the evening, but don't worry, we will be warming up as we go on through the day as we head into our Thursday. So as we look in our extended, look at that. hitting that 0 mark on Thursday. But like I said, the good with the bad, because now we have a 65% chance of some afternoon snow. Jace is shaking his head. I think we all are right now. Seeing those nice warm conditions, and then we are going to be expecting some snowfall, so please make sure to keep those shovels ready. Definitely seeing some things switch up here. And as we head into our Friday, we'll only be cooling down to that -1, so be prepared. We are going to be seeing those single digits once again. That's all I have for now. All right, Jace Mackey, we'll have more news coming up for you after the break.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have an adorable pitty mix named Boss. And tell me a little bit about him and how he came to the SPCA and, you know, his personality.
So Boss is a very, very sweet boy. We think he's about 2 to 3 years old. He's a pitty mix, obviously got some pitty in there. He does flare up a little bit, so we believe he does have some allergies. We just have him on the allergy food right now. So whoever does adopt him, I would suggest keeping him on that. We did think it was a little bit more needing meds, but we kind of got that under control. So I think with just a good diet, you'd be able to keep that flaring up. But I mean, you kind of have that with any pit bull kind of mix. You know, their skin's very sensitive. He's a very relaxed boy, very calm. I think he would do good in any household. He seems good with the other dogs. He seems good with cats, and he's been very good with the kids that have come in here.
Yes, for sure. And just seeing him for the last couple of minutes, he's been super, you know, he's been a little bit hyper, new people around, and, you know, he got the prospect of treats. So, but we were talking a little bit before, and he doesn't pull on walks. He's very calm, and he'll walk next to you, which is really nice, and he can kind of sense when you're getting a little bit nervous too, which is always nice.
Yeah, no, one of our girls took it, and she's got pretty bad anxiety, and she took him out for her, and it was like he knew when she was kind of getting a little overwhelmed. So I really think he would do good in any family. He's very chill. I feel like he'd be the type of dog that just wants to sit on the couch with you and snuggle. My kind of dog.
Yes, mine kind of dog too. And you mentioned he's good around kids as well.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues with any kids. He seems to be, we had some pre-K classes come in. He wants his treats over here. We had some pre-K classes come in, and he was really good with all of them, right? And they're pretty young.
So really the only thing would just be the allergy food.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. I mean, we haven't quite got a pinpoint exactly. So, I mean, there could be meds in the future. I know we've had him on a few meds to kind of help clear up his skin, and it works great, but then when we stopped them, but it turned out he just had some Demodex, so we actually have treated that, so that should clear everything up. But just keep in mind, I mean, with the mix, or with the breed, he could require some, you know, medicine later in the future when he flares up a bit.
But he does seem like to be the perfect companion for really any environment, which is awesome to see. It gives a lot of different options. And
as you can see, he doesn't mind being dressed up, so.
Which is perfect. I love dressing up animals, so when they actually like it, it's a lot of fun. When they don't, obviously take them off, because you're the only one having fun at that point. Now, you have a few events coming up. You have booze raffle. Tell me a little bit about that.
So starting tomorrow, we are starting tickets for our booze raffle. So you can get all of this booze. Tickets are $10 a piece, and you go right to our website, and there'll be a link there. You can buy them right online, as well as I believe our event coordinator is going to be selling some tickets at Liquor Junction in the evenings. I'm not 100% sure what date she's doing that yet, but just follow our social media. We'll announce it. But yeah, for a $10 ticket, you can get all of that booze. It looks like there's some pretty good choices in there. So we're going to run that all the way till St. Patrick's Day. And then what a better day to do a booze raffle than St. Patrick's Day. So you'd be set on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that sounds, it works out perfectly, the timing, and you know, it gives people a lot of chance to buy those tickets and get that in. You also have another event coming up at PetSmart. Tell me a little bit about that. It's a week long, you were saying?
Yeah, so it's PetSmart's weekly, annual adoption event, and it's going to run from 1 week, or for 1 week, it'll be March 6th to the 12th. We will be at PetSmart every day from 12 to 3 in their dog training area, and we're going to actually have a discount going on. So we did it last year, and it seemed to work out really good. So once you've picked out the animal you want, you can actually pop a balloon, and then it will be a discount price in there, anywhere from 10, 15, up to 50% off. So kind to get an animal at a cheaper rate too. Plus, it's always fun to pick a balloon and pop it. So.
And will you have pets there with you?
Absolutely. So we'll have some cats and probably a different dog each day. Like I imagine Mr. Boss, if he doesn't get adopted, will come because he's quite well mannered. And we've got a few other dogs we plan on bringing as well.
And if they see a dog on your website that may not necessarily be at the PetSmart event, can they still write their names down and still pop the balloon?
Absolutely. You can come down to the shelter and do that as well. So.
And you have another event that you don't have too many details on, but it has something to do with Pampered Chef, which is an amazing organization that has a lot of great kitchenware and recipes and spices and all that.
Yeah, so yeah, we have a Pampered Chef. I'm not sure yet of the details, but I believe we have a lady, she sells Pampered Chef, so she's going to give us a proceed of the some of the proceeds. So yeah, we'll have more information hopefully in the next couple of days. So again, just keep an eye on our social media and we'll have all the details about that.
That's awesome. You guys are starting to slowly get back into your events, which is amazing, and they always seem to be a really good turnout, and you guys get a lot from them. Now, again, every week, is there any donations that you are in need of or in general?
So again, for some reason, we're extremely low on cat food. Kibble wet, kitten wet. So we seem to be doing okay on dog food at the moment. Eventually though, because we do have 6 2-week-old puppies, that we will eventually need the puppy food as well. Right now, Mom's still doing a good job of taking care of them. But yeah, definitely cat food, and also bedding, any sheets, blankets. Sheets we go through a lot with the puppies, just because we lay it down on the cement so that they have are not on the cold cement. And with puppies, they just go to the bathroom anywhere. So we could definitely use any type of bedding as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today. And Boss was absolutely incredible. Minus, the prospects of getting treats, but that is typical dog behavior. Other than that, he has been the perfect guest. So thank you.
Thank you.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is reggae fusion artist Amoy, who has recently received a Juno Award nomination for Reggae Recording of the Year for her album Water. Thank you so much for joining us today, Amoy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, no problem. Really excited to be able to have you because, I was saying that we may have some fans here in the border city. Of course, the ones that love the reggae albums and whatnot and all that music. So really excited to have you on here. So just starting off with probably the most simple question, for this nomination, for your album Water. Can you just kind of explain what this album is all about?
Water is I would say, this is my third full-length album, and the first was a collab album with a producer, Riza Shen from Ottawa, called Afuin. And then I released The Light in 2017, which was about my spiritual awakening and how that transformed and changed my life. It was a catalyst for this new me that you see now. And so Water is the rebirth, represents the rebirth, a marker, if you will, of where I am since that awakening and where I'm heading now in my life, in every way, shape, and form.
Oh, no, that's really amazing for this album. Have you been seeing that strong support so far with, the release and everything with this album for Water?
Yes. Water came out last year. We were still in, the quarantine phase. And so we didn't get to really promote it by live performances as much. So this year, we've been doing that all over the place. We just came back from Quebec City doing Rideau. And oh my gosh, the reception was amazing, incredible. I just signed on with Passa Music, booking agency from Quebec City, from Montreal, but they'll be covering all of the French territories and so forth. So now we'll be able to promote the album even more now.
Yeah, and with this album for Water, for people out there that may not have, heard about it or checked it out yet, what kind of message are you kind of hoping that they get out of this album once they listen to it and really enjoy it?
It's about freedom. The message is about love. It's about acceptance and learning how to go with the flow and to be like water, really. There's so many changes happening in and around the world and within ourselves. I feel individually, collectively, we're going through changes. And it's sometimes we are so comfortable to stay in the comfort zones that we're used to. But Water is just about embracing change, learning to embrace change, go with the flow of where your life is taking you, and be open to the new, that the universe is ready to, usher you into. This is what water is all about.
And I know you are a 6-time Juno Award nominee. So, with receiving this nomination now, how did it feel to know that, you've been recognized for this reggae album, for Reggae Recording of the Year?
Exciting, man. It was exciting. This is my 6th nomination, like you said, and each time it's still surreal. It still feels like, oh my gosh, growing up in Jamaica and having this dream to do what I'm doing now and living it now, and being able to be acknowledged in this way by what I could consider the Canadian Grammys, if you will, the highest, accolade that you can achieve as a musician in Canada. It's like the little girl in me is just over the moon. So it's exciting. It's exciting to be acknowledged in this way. And I'm excited to be in Edmonton and to connect and reconnect with my peers and all of the activities of the Junos. I'm looking forward to all of it. It's exciting.
Yeah. And yes, can you kind of expand on what you kind of have on your agenda now? What's on the go for you for Amoy? Because, maybe you have a little teaser, any other work that you're working on that you can let us know about?
Well, that's a good thing. Good question. For right now, we're prepping for the Junos. And so I'm excited making sure that I have my red carpet looks on point right now. And we're getting ready after the Junos to do more shows. We're booked for summer is looking quite busy, and I'm excited about that for me and my band. And so we're going to be performing more, and now we're able to really promote the album in a live performance setting where we're able now to share the music with the audience because things are opening up more. And also, I've been given my intuitive nudges. I've been the creative juices are flowing again, and I'm feeling. Well, I feel now that the next project that I'm going to be working on will be The Shift. I'm calling the next album The Shift because I feel like everything's shifting up now, and I'm becoming more comfortable within my skin. And so I've been writing. I've been in the process of writing now for the new body of work to come. But right now, focusing in the moment, present moment, on promoting water even more. And then in the background, I'm working on what's to come next, which is The Shift.
Well, I think that's a beautiful message that you're hoping to get out there through water and just what it represents. Yes. And from your personality, it seems like, this is an amazing album. I think like a lot of people be checking out your music because,
yes, please
enjoy it. Yeah, it's probably very fun music. So I'm really glad
it is. I call it reggae rocking music. It's light work, it's active music that activates you to go out there and do what you love to do.
Oh, that's amazing. So anybody here in the border city watching this, I hope they check you out. And if they want to find some more information, do you have a website or whatnot online that they can check out all your work?
Absolutely. So my website is www.amoye.com. And you can find me on Instagram at Amoyes Music, AMMOYES Music. Same handle on Twitter and Facebook. And for bookings, it's Pasa Music. You'll find that information as well on my website, as well as You Will Love It Live. Jenny the Merchant is also my booker that books for across Canada and US and so forth. And then Pasa Music does all the French territories and Quebec City.
Awesome. I'm really glad we're able to speak about this, Amoy. Thank you so much for joining us today, and you have a great rest of your day. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ending off with a quick look at your 7-day forecast. As I was saying, we will be expecting around a 65% chance of those flurries Thursday, even though we will be warming up. So just be prepared to keep those shovels ready. We will be seeing those single digits ahead for the weekend. So that will be very nice because as we head into next week with next Monday and Tuesday, we will be hitting those double digits once again. All right, thank you so much for that, Shelby, and thank you all for joining us tonight on Primetime Local News. Have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.